Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the final video of Thursday. Unless Kabam break the game, which can happen, so buckle up and get ready everybody. This video is all about some of the best champions to take into Thronebreaker difficulty, and also kind of a Cavalier difficulty. Best champions for the path, some best champions for the bosses. Of course, as always, there is a spreadsheet, so if you want to check it out, the link is in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So 1.1 is all about mutant-based champions. Break out your mutants, people. Even handier if some of those mutants have a prowess buff active. We've got healing factor, we've got just a scratch. Some of the best champions for this particular path are going to be as follows. I personally love using Bishop on this path. I love using Apoc on this path here. And also there's so many others, like there's Kitty Pryde, there's Emma Frost, there's Storm Pyramid X. The list literally goes on. I would recommend anybody packing into your team, a white Magneto or a red Magneto, depending on the situation, because, hey, they counter metal champions. It's a no-brainer. When it comes to your boss, however, that is a very different story. Your boss for this is going to be Craven, and I would be honest, it's a very straightforward fight. I didn't find anything to worry about. My notes on this one is, yes, he's immune to power manipulation, which is kind of important because we do have Feet of Energy. But apart from that, and also stung once, stung twice, so basically you're going to get a plasma debuff, whatever it is, the debuff, what is it? Yeah, power sting debuff even. So look, throw a special attack, boom, get stung. So at the end of the day, as long as you can wait for that to go, you can then smack him with anything. Apocalypse makes this easy. Kitty Pryde makes this easy. Bishop makes it easy. I went in with 2 bars of power from a previous fight and just blasted off a big SP2 once those lovely little debuffs had gone from me, and therefore I wasn't getting any more punishment. But yeah, you do you at the end of the day who you choose. It's a very straightforward fight. Just make sure that you pick and choose the time to throw a special attack. Don't get hit by that very nasty power sting. 1.2 is Bogged Down. For Bogged Down, this is all about utilising those new Avengers, those A-Force and Fantastic Four champions, or Fantastic Champions. You can use Cosmic Champions as well, and it's definitely well worth putting some decent MVP, high buff orientated Cosmic Champions. Like Angela, basically for the interactions she has and what she can take down, starting off with pre-fights with Odin, and of course what you can do is then open up all the other Cosmics to it. So use any Cosmic, provided you've got an Odin or maybe a Heimdall synergy. But do bear in mind, if you want to play into the narrative of this particular quest, then you might want to feast your eyes upon some of the various different options, whether or not it's going to be the likes of Mr. Fantastic, Thing, it's going to be Sunspot, which I had a bit of fun with. Hyperion is a cross-fight champion, so a tactical champion. So you're basically Cosmic Champion taking lots of buffs from fight to fight, and that worked really well. You can use other kind of fun options as well. Scarlet Witch Sigil, standard Scarlet Witch, Cat Marvel movie, She-Hulk's pretty good and can get you out of some evade-based situations. So there's a lot of basic counters there, and I'm sure there's a lot more to be added to this particular list. Your boss on this occasion is going to be Thing. Thing has Foresight, Adaptive, Rushdown, Ticking Time Bomb, Waving Will, Heavy. So Waving Will Heavy, the defender's ability actually cannot be reduced. Hitting the defender with a heavy attack disables the effect for 10 seconds. Make sure to do that. If you want, it depends how you want to rotate. Look, you can literally, this is a very easy month, by the way. Valk, you can Falcon, you can do all those things and more. You could either use slow debuff champions like She-Hulk, which I used and found that was pretty easy. Didn't really have to focus on any other node. Silver Centurion, Shang-Chi, Gwen Stacy. Also bleeders to take down the basic abilities of the rock stacking ability of Thing, so look out for that as an option. I didn't really have to worry too much about Rushdown, but it's definitely something to be considering about. And also Ticking Time Bomb. When the attacker performs a well-timed block, they gain a fuse charge. Striking the defender's block removes 1 fuse charge. When the attacker reaches 5 fuses, they're consumed and the attacker takes a burst of damage. Do bear that in mind. I'm even thinking Namor might be a cool option against this, basically because the champion has bleeds and also can reflect a lot of that ticking time bomb damage. But again, it's a very doable champion. It's very easy to take down. So yeah, choose some of those. 2.1 now, and a very straightforward quest again. Short temper, critical critically drained, power exchange, all that, and obviously there's other paths. But with this one's all about champions that are first and foremost tech, but also champions that are hashtag Avengers. Some of those you can see on screen right now, whether or not it's Namor, Falcon, Cap Infinity War, Black Panther OG, Black Widow Deadly Origin, Scarlet Witch Sigil, Scarlet Witch OG, and the list goes on. You know, text-wise, you could swing to Nebula, Penny Parker, Nimrod, some mutants on the path, use him. Warlock, Infamous Iron Man, and OG Iron Man. So there's tons of options there to take down this particular path. And of course, do bear in mind, tactical is very important. So maybe play into your tactical in this particular situation. But for the boss side of things, which is Man Thing, this is a champion that's got Power Snack, Knockdown Dot, Boost Buff, and then Counter Strike. I gotta be honest, like, obviously Counter-Strike is important. Using Dexterity Mastery to dodge and attack grants an attacker passive fury. Helpful to do damage. But it just depends what you don't like about the champion, how to interact. I would be honest, if you want something that's kind of like just not like a no-brainer, but kind of something that interacts with stopping the unstoppable and having a poison immune champion, She-Hulk is a definite bag. Yellow Jacket could be another option. Immortal Hulk. But most champions that are poison immune probably could do this fight kind of like hands down. You could use Kingpin. There's a whole host of champions for this one. I think this is a particular month we don't have to overly read and look into counters for this one. It's just a case of going, okay, well, I might need something for this, and this would pretty much just do the fight. It's not like other months where it's like, well, if you don't have this, then there's a problem. It's kind of like, feels like there's more scope of champion choice with this one, rather than naming off a very specific counters. So yeah, it depends on what you want to do and how you want to take it down. Yeah. Now on to Quest 2.2. This is all about scientific exploit and whittle down. For this one, I would recommend on the easy path, you might need something in the lines of a Human Torch or a miscounter, especially because you've got Ebony Maw and Spider-Man Supreme on the easy path, which is good and bad at the same time. You get them out of the way, straight off the bat. I would recommend a team that is got Mr. Fantastic in. If you've got She-Hulk and Mr. Fantastic in any other champion really kind of like helps out kind of like the fighting aspect to this one. Then yeah, these are some of the various options: Immortal Abomination, Red Guardian, Human Torch, Cap with Cosmic and Tech champions, Void, Immortal Hulk, Overseer, Anti-Venom, Scorpion. The list goes on. List goes on with options for this one. So yeah, choose as you see fit. For the boss, you have got a very easy beast fight, right? This is honestly just ridiculously easy. I think any tech can basically work with this one. I used Infamous Iron Man. You can use Nimrod. If you're annoyed about this whole debuff immunity aspect and then the problem of trying to hit the champion down to deal with flux dispersal, then I would recommend bringing in a White Magneto. It will help out to take this down because White Magneto has a pre-fight that is a passive parry, so that might be something you might want to do. It's up to you at the end of the day. And now we're on to 3.1, Punishment Glutton. This is all about your champions that are big or easy to access from basic debuff dealers. So damaging debuffs. So Black Widow Deadly Origin does shocks quickly. Nick Fury with heavies and mediums does a lot of bleeds, and as soon as those bleeds are finished, then that means 4 Fury passives, and that means lots of damage. Gwenpool, Squirrel Girl, Crossbones, Mole Man, Black Panther, Elektra, Hawkeye, Hitmonkey, the list goes on. Whoever's got like Black Cat, again, loads of different options there that really deal a good amount of damage with Punishment Glutton. So those are the options for that. When it comes to your boss, however, this is your Werewolf by Night fight. The champion has Silver Solution, which can be helpful if you've got the likes of a silver-based champion, Elsa Bloodstone, Blade, Silver Centurion. It's also got Blood in the Water, Special Burst, Lockdown, Ebb and Flow Heavy. I would say this is really pointing at if you're getting debuffs on you, Kingpin is your guy. Kingpin is great for a good chunk of the fights of this particular quest this month, so I do recommend him if you've got him. When it comes to some other interactions with this one, I would say you can use Nick Fury. I think I used Archangel. There's lots of options. I'd like to hit the champion when he's doing his howl, just to interrupt some stuff that's going on with his power gaining. But yeah, tons of options here. Craven is another option. A lot of this is very straightforward. It's a very straightforward fight. You just got to keep distance when it comes to keeping a champion to an SP1 is probably one thing I would recommend with the champion fight. But yeah, Werewolf by Night. The final fight is against Morbius, but of course the path is all about occult equilibrium, siphoning strength, power overwhelming, etc. For this particular path, or multiple different paths, the node in particular, interacting with that, you got your Doctor Doom, Magic of SP2, Scarlet Witch, Dormammu, Man-Thing, Sorcerer Supreme, Mephisto, Dr. Voodoo, Wong, Purgatory, Black Widow, Clairvoyant. I've even used Wiccan against this. I think there's a lot of options that are quite good to take on this path. So yeah, pick and choose as you see fit with it. When it comes to the boss, which is Morbius, however, the champion has Hard Knock Life. I don't know if that's going to be an issue for you. You could use Apocalypse, but I would be brutally honest that there's better options. There's better options than that. Kingpin is a definite option. That's another kind of class option to use. It's class advantage as well, funny enough. Nick Fury, if you go into phase 2 and you're able to access your miss countering, then that might be an option. Hercules off an SP1. It depends what is bad about this. I think a lot of champions work from it. Not necessarily, well, it's difficult to say, isn't it? Because I would say I used an Iceman, which worked. It's like, it shouldn't work, but it did. Especially when it comes to the special attack throwing, which is when triple threat. Anyway, triple threat. Right. I was struck by that several times, and that's the case of like bleed debuff. Iceman's immune. Cold snap, he's immune. Incinerate, he's immune. And it also has that that armor up that's on, so you can shrug something, which is handy because you do get stunned at certain times with tactical retreat. So you've got to be careful about that. I would say this kind of pinpoints into Nick Fury, mainly because, phase 2, he can deal with that stun if need be. And also, not completely with triple threat, but at least you get access to being aggressive. And one thing to note is that when Morbius has got his wings, where they're white in colour, you should be aggressive and, try and kind of press him as much as possible. When he's got the blue, you've got to keep your distance, because you've got to watch out that when he dashes forward and dashes out, he's gliding, and if he's gliding, he's going to be, he's going to miss. So don't miss. So you've got to play it very carefully, and good luck to everybody with that one. But I think it's a miscounters for me. I like Kingpin the most when it comes to this fight. Iceman was a bit of an iffy choice. I think I just chose it just to test something out. Nick Fury is a good option as well. So yeah, miscounters may be the way with this one, but do bear in mind Human Torch is not a good option. I did test it out and I did not go according to plan, mainly because it seemed like I was shrugging off those effects quicker than I could get them on. So that's something to note as well. But yeah, that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you all in the next set of videos, probably an MCN tomorrow. We'll have to see. Lots of videos still planned for this month. So cheers everybody. Bye bye.